Hello, dear friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is news time again from this very good channel. Welcome back. How are you all doing? Hope you are good. I pray that God will be with you in your endeavors. Today we have another update for you, and I want you to, after listening to it, you drop your opinion and suggestions you have so that Biafra will be free. And that's just it. Okay, let's go there.
In Nigeria, if they can create that level playing field that we have to very much ask for.
Yes, Donald Trump and the US government, they've actually sent a stern warning to President Tinubu and the Nigerian government. A lot of people right now will be asking why are the Westerners interested in what is happening in Nigeria. There are three instances of imposing Sharia law on Christians, and Nigeria is not a Muslim state. Nigeria is a multicultural state, like it covers both Muslim and Christian. But with what is happening, it looks like the government are trying to impose Sharia law in the country. Why did I say so? We're having different scenarios. Look at the case of Sunday Jackson. Sunday Jackson was a man who actually was in his farm, and all of a sudden, one Fulani herdsmen attacked him. After attacking him, the next team stabbed Sunday Jackson multiple times. Then so Sunday Jackson was still able to oppress him and now stab him on his neck, and that was what happened. Sunday Jackson was sent to court, and after everything, the Supreme Court actually found him guilty of murder and is going to be sentenced to death by hanging. And he has been on death row for over 10 years now, where the Vice President of the United States was talking about the case happening in Nigeria. And then that one that brought up a lot of unrest, a lot of discussion, and made the US government to be interested again is the issue of Sylvester Okechukwu, the foreign fighter that was killed in Kaduna State. And it was said that he was killed by some religious imperialists, some religious extremists, and till today, no proper investigation have been done into that case. That's another one again. Unless the issue of the Muslim ticket. So at the end of the day, it's looking like they want to Islamize the whole country. Vice President of the United States talking about the issue happening in Nigeria.
More than any president of my lifetime, President Trump has pursued a path of peace. And we very often, I think, ignore the way in which our foreign policy is either an instrument or an impediment to people all over the world being able to practice their faith. And we know, and as of course I learned in this breakfast last year, I believe there were some Nigerian priests who were being persecuted and were trying to protect their flock despite incredible persecution. We know that some of the biggest groups that are persecuted all over the world today are Christians. And the Trump administration promises you that whether it's here at home with our own citizens or all over the world, we will be the biggest defenders of religious liberty and the rights of conscience.
So, and it showed that the US in no time, if Nigerians are not careful, if the Nigerian government is not careful, they might receive some sort of sanction. Now, let me read another part again. This one I have to read again is from the US mission statement, and see what it wrote. It said, the US mission is distressed by the brutal and senseless killing of foreign father Sylvester Okechukwu in Kaduna State, Nigeria. We strongly condemn the horrific act of violence. We extend our deepest condolence to the family, congregation, and community of Father Okechukwu. We have suffered an immeasurable loss. Our thoughts are with them during this time of profound grief. We call on the authorities to bring the perpetrators to justice. So let's look at it now. So that last part, let's look at it very well. We call on the government to bring the perpetrators to, that's what the authorities have failed to do. They've not brought those guys to judgment that actually end the life of Reverend Father Sylvester Okechukwu. And these are one of the cases why the US are still talking that, okay, why will another religious group be attacking another religious group? And this was a clear statement. So with the case of Sunday Jackson, I'm going to be playing a video from Arise, like a tweeted video, where they discussed about this particular issue. And also, I'm going to also be playing another video clip again from one Dr. William, a human rights activist lawyer in the United States, also talking about this particular Sunday Jackson case. So I'm going to play the video for us now. Let us see.
Sunday Jackson, a former student in his early 30s, is facing death by hanging after Nigeria's Supreme Court today upheld the judgment of a lower court in Adamawa State. Mr. Jackson was a student turned farmer who says he was violently attacked on his farm in Kodemti Forest in the Newman local government area in Adamawa State by a Fulani herdsman known as Buba Baruro. The herdsman had strayed into Mr. Jackson's farm with his animals, and after Mr. Jackson challenged him, he apparently pulled a knife and a fight ensued. He stabbed Mr. Jackson a couple of times, but he managed to retrieve the knife and to stab his attacker in the neck, whereupon he died. Mr. Jackson was arrested and charged with murder. He's consistently argued that it was self-defense. In 2021, he was found guilty by a court in Yola and condemned to death by hanging. And today, the Supreme Court in Abuja upheld that judgment. So he's now in a race for his life, and the only option left is to appeal for clemency from the governor of Adamawa State.
So you can see that guy on Arise TV. You can see I talked about the case, and this is very clear. This was a case of self-defense, nothing more. It's not a case of they are lying or this thing. This was a case of self-defense. So Sunday Jackson was defending himself, and the Fulani herdsman was the one who attacked. So why then will you not actually sentence somebody who was in his rights defense, who was okay, you stabbed me multiple times, you came with the first attack, then I went ahead and stabbed you back, and you were in my own property, your animals were grazing on my crops. I was angry. I told you, don't allow these animals to graze on my crop again. Then you end up attacking him. So after attacking him now, he had to defend himself. At the end of the day, attack you back so they will not kill him, or you will not end this time. Then at the end of the day, the judgment was against the same person that his human right was trampled on. So there's a lot that is coming out through this whole issue. I know a lot of people will beg to differ in the comment section below, but the truth is, this is the truth, that they are trying to Islamize this country. And in as much they are trying to do this, there is going to be a revolt over time. That is why the US are still sending some kind of warning, and this warning I know definitely is from the US government to your loved ones. Also, before we go, we are going to be looking at a statement from a human rights activist lawyer from the United States in a particular interview talking about this particular issue of Sunday Jackson, and why is it that the authorities still now not actually looking into this very well.
A sad day, Charles, for human rights in Nigeria. Sunday Jackson, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm a human rights advocate. Sunday Jackson, by anyone's estimation, is totally innocent. And the issue where this man was out farming, minding his own business, and then the attacker came and a struggle ensued. And of course, this man is going to defend himself. That's why we call it self-defense. And yet, today, we were at the Nigerian Supreme Court, and it was very brief. It was only about maybe 2 minutes long, and we just wept at the failure of the Nigerian Supreme Court to say that this man, and they had the opportunity to say this man was totally innocent. We haven't seen all the ins and outs of the decision, but we had the opportunity to meet this humble farmer, this young man who unfortunately his wife abandoned him, had been on death row for 10 years. So Sunday Jackson has now become an international case.